call to pay the price of freedom. The people have been trained during the past 2 decades to conduct the campaign without any big leader. And the fact that most of the leaders are now in prison will serve as a perpetual inspiration to them. Moreover, the Indian people today are much stronger and more well organized than ever before, and on the other hand, the British Empire is now disintegrating as a result of defeats in different theatres of war. According to the British government, the total losses suffered by the Indian people in this war already amount to nearly 100,000. Thus, we have sacrificed against our will these 100,000 men for the preservation of the British Empire. Let us now voluntarily sacrifice 100,000 lives so that empire is overthrown and India is free once again. This sacrifice will be 1/7 of what India underwent during the last World War. Further, Netaji goes on to say, I must also offer my warmest congratulations to Prime Minister of Sindh, Allah Bakhsh, for not only giving up his title, which was a badge of slavery, but also for declaring to the whole world that majority of Indian Muslims today support India's struggle for freedom. I can assure him that Indians all over the world are beholden to him for the timely service he has rendered to India and to Indian Muslims by giving the lie directly to the recent impudent speech of the British Prime Minister on India. I hope that all those who are interested in India will no longer be duped by British propaganda to the effect that Indian Muslims do not sympathize with or support the fight for freedom. Friends, I would once again ask the Indian members of the Viceroy's Executive Council to reconsider their present position. They should have noticed by now that British politicians have been throwing all the responsibility on their shoulder for the terrible things happening in India. If they do not repudiate the responsibility at once, the blood of their innocent countrymen will be on their head, and they will have to answer for when the time comes. The best and most honorable course for them is to follow the example of Sir C.P. Ramaswamy Iyer and lay down their office. I ardently hope that the lead in this matter will be taken by my friend Mr. M.S. Aney.